It's that time of year again. It happens every year, like clockwork. Thousands of young people, soon to be something close to adults, sitting in robes of white or red or navy or green or gold or blue, waiting for their name to be called and to walk across the stage and to shake a person's hand and to be finished. To be finished with high school, one of the greatest steps of their education. Every year, thousands of young people wait to step across the stage just like this one. They wait whether with nerves or relief or simply impatience. They wait, but the clock doesn't. It doesn't wait for anyone. Just like the clock on the wall takes the same numbers of hours to strike midnight, the clock takes the same number of days to strike graduation. When the clock strikes June of the 18th year of a young person's life, it is expected that they will graduate from high school. That has been the expectation in America for quite some time. But for many of the students on this stage, including myself, that wasn't always true. For many of us, the idea of graduating from high school was a far-off dream. It was something other people did. It is not something that we knew would happen. It was not inevitable, because if completing one of the greatest steps of your education was inevitable, it would be like the ticking of a clock, but it's not. We are all on the stage for a reason, for the reason of perseverance, of thick skin, of great support, of faith, of determination. No one on this stage had the luxury of simply letting time tick by, knowing that graduation would be waiting for them. We had to work. We had to fight. At some points, we had to force ourselves out of bed when we thought nothing else would work. Sometimes our parents had to do it for us. There were tears and heartache and sadness of almost 100 children who didn't know why they weren't like the other kids in class. But all that is a part of our ticking clock. It made us who we are, and for good or not, we are here because of it. I want us all to take a moment, all of the graduates to take a moment, to look out at the crowd here in front of us. A moment of silence to allow the graduates to do this. This crowd, these people, these individuals are here for us. Whether it's one or all or a handful, every single person is here to celebrate us, to show support for everything that we have done in the long fight for this moment. This is our time on the clock. It is our moment of celebration. It is ours, and no one else's. Okay, so maybe that's not true. There are something like over 2,000 other high schools in America having graduation parties. That's not the point. Today, in this gym, with these people on this campus, it is our moment. We did this. It happened with help and support and guidance, and more guidance than we can remember. That support came from so many different places. It came when we wanted it and we asked for it, and it came when we thought it was completely pointless. It came from a small army of teachers. I mean, did you see the opening procession? There are more faculty than there are graduates. It came from parents who stopped at nothing to get us the best education possible. Whether it was driving hours upon hours a day, rearranging spending habits, or fighting tooth and nail with schools in the state to get us here. To have this opportunity to walk across the stage, they did it for us, to be here, to have our moment on the clock. So, ladies, gentlemen, esteemed guests, and by esteemed guests I mean parents, families, teachers, faculty, the Board of Trustees, alum, and my fellow students, please welcome Landmark's graduating class of 2016. Now, please welcome Reverend Bill Ferguson, who will lead us in the invocation.
Let's pray. Most gracious God, there are times when words simply cannot express and capture all that there is in a moment like this. The hard work, tears, struggles, and sacrifices of these seniors, along with the unconditional love and steadfast support of family and friends that finally brought us to a moment where we can hardly express what we feel. But what words may not capture, our hearts can convey. Hearts filled with joy and sweet sorrow, gratitude for all that was, anticipation for all that will be, and hearts filled with satisfaction of a job well done. And so we pray you would hear us from our hearts, dear God. Please hear us as we pray your best blessings on all who are gathered here. Bless our graduating class and the family and friends who love them. Bless the teachers, administrators, and staff who are so dedicated to them. Please bless everyone who has brought us to this moment when only our hearts can speak. Thank you for your goodness to us. In your holy name we pray. Amen. And please remain standing for our national anthem.
Lights and celebrates academic excellence in all facets of the Landmark classroom. This year's recipient arrived to Landmark High School as a freshman, immediately hit the ground running, and he hasn't yet stopped. From his first day, he impressed his teachers with his dedication to his studies, his natural curiosity for learning, and his passion to give his best in all that he endeavored, be it on the golf course, at a debate, or in the classroom. He is driven to succeed and unwavering in his dedication to do so. We are proud of his accomplishments and by the academic maturity and prowess which make him a natural candidate for the 2016 overall academic award. Please join me in recognizing this year's recipient, Matthew Prince. Joe Rose, Director of the Prep Program, to present the Preparatory Program Award.
Our program's highest honor, the Prep Program at Landmark Schools and our overall academic award, is awarded to a full-time prep student who is judged to have achieved the highest levels of academic excellence inside the prep program, as well as in classes taken outside the program. This year's recipient is a completely dedicated and exceptional learner. In her 4 years at the prep, she has clearly proven herself as someone who is committed, conscientious, and industrious. She has always brought a quiet consistency to all that she has done and has regularly exceeded expectations, both inside and outside of the classroom. Quite simply, Caitlin Stanislavic is a model student and a special young person. She will be an incredible asset at Northeastern University and wherever else she decides to take herself in her life's journey. On behalf of the great Prep Program faculty, it is my true honor to present the Prep's Overall Academic Award to Katie Stanislav. Now I'd like to bring up Nicholas Engstrom, class of 18, to present the Citizenship Award.
Hello everyone, my name is Nick Engstrom and I'm one of the day student representatives on the Student Council. I have the honor today to present this year's Citizenship Award. This is an annual award that is given out by the Student Council to an individual who is a model citizen that brings positivity to the campus. This student makes everyone's day a little bit brighter and makes us all proud to be members of the Landmark community. This year's recipient meets the award criteria and more. Since day one, she has tried to be a positive force on campus. Her countless volunteer work, spunky personality, and daily readings make everyone on campus smile. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me the great pleasure to give this year's Citizenship Award to Adam McCollum.
Thank you, everyone. The Peggy E. Cook Landmark Parents Association Awards are given out by Angela Ciccone and Robert Gallins, who are the most loyal Parents Association leaders we have ever had. Yes, yes.
Good morning, Landmark community. This year, the Landmark Parents Association decided to rename these 5 scholarships in memory of Peggy E. Cook. Peggy was an iconic member of the Landmark community for over 40 years and served in vital roles at EMS, in the administration, and at the high school. Peggy was instrumental in establishing the Parents Association and was loved by parents and students alike. The following students are the awards.
All right, our first award. This student has attended Landmark for the last 8 years. Through his Landmark education, he learned to use the lessons that Landmark teachers taught him and have applied those to his real-life situations. While excelling at his academics, on the soccer field and basketball court, he has also built a very successful landscaping business. Mercer Therian.
Our next awardee, at 16 years old, he flew from India and made the journey to Landmark School. He jumped right into the Landmark community, getting involved in numerous activities from sports to co-president of the International Club and other activities. Too long to list here. But some include Student Advocates and the Invent Team, which he was just featured on WCVB's Class Act. Please come down, Shabria.
All right, our third. This student has overcome so much to be here today as an intricate part of the Landmark community. Excuse me. From working in the school store, to participating in sports, to being a member of student council, and co-leading the Landmark camping trip. She has dedicated this year over 100 volunteer hours to her community and is enrolled in the Naval Reserve Officer Training Program as a Marine at Norwich University, with continuing plans to become a police officer. Nicole Foyle.
As all students here, she continues to overcome her learning disabilities. She is a passionate writer that has won regional and statewide awards. Over the last 9 years, this student has been an important member of the Landmark community, with a compelling story that she tells as part of the Student Advocates. Also, she serves as president of the Gay Straight Alliance. Eliza Black.
All right, and finally, at this year's Making Waves concert, the student moved us with her voice. She has learned from the many examples instilled in her by her mom on how to excel, become a bright, capable young woman. She plans to make a difference in the neuroscience and research field of learning disabilities. In addition, she serves others, from homeless shelters to the Special Olympics. Tanisha Garcia.
My pleasure to introduce our next student speaker, Matthew Prince. I remember sitting in the swings,
11 years ago, on a beautiful spring day. My teacher let my class out to recess for the last 20 minutes of school, and we were allowed to use the playground in the field. I was minding my own business, and then I looked over to my left to see only 30 feet away the resource room kids. Only they weren't allowed to play with us. They couldn't reach me in the swings. They were restricted to a small fire lane by the back door of the resource room. They were trapped, penned in by some painted yellow lines outlined on the ground. And I looked around the entire playground where my class was running on the field, playing on the jungle gym, filling the air with their laughter, and then back at that tiny, quiet box the resource room kids were left in. Even then, I knew this was wrong. Because in a way, I wasn't with my usual classmates at all. I was with those resource room students. I knew what those kids were going through, because for several times a day, I was one of them. I too was restricted, trapped by my school and put in confined places like the resource room. My possibilities were decided by my school, and they were very narrowly defined, just like those resource room students. And just like them, my classmates and I have been defined. We've had decisions made for us, things chosen for us. But now it's time to make our own decisions, to be in control of our own lives. That is why we all need to find something, whatever it may be, that speaks to us, that leads us on our own journey. And we have this ability to succeed in what we want, like few others. I wouldn't dare say that to any other group of singers, because we do things differently. We have always done things our own way, because we have a language-based learning disability, and we have needed to find different ways of doing routine activities in order to survive in the classroom. And I know that many of us would trade our disability if we had the chance, because we have gone through so much, and we're even still advised to conform to a world created by other people, people who are not like us. Because remember that we weren't seen as outsiders for what we did. We were seen as outsiders for who we were as people, who we are as people. But none of that defines us now. We just need to know that this disability we bear is not a disability, but a great ability. This ability we have to think differently and take our own path is natural to all of us, and it is our strength. Malcolm Gladwell argues this very point in his book, David and Goliath. Gladwell talks about how people's weaknesses can actually be strengths. And he mentions one lawyer, David Boies, who is severely dyslexic, but who turns his disability around to be an asset by memorizing every single case. This has made him one of the most respected lawyers in the United States. Gladwell chooses this title, David and Goliath, because in the old story, David is the young and weak boy who challenges Goliath, the strongest fighter on the enemy side, to a duel. Everyone assumes David will be easily killed as they gear the boy up in soldier's armor, like everyone before him. Only for David, this usual armor won't work for him, because David doesn't fight the normal way. He uses a slingshot, which is unusual. So he takes his armor off, leaving himself completely vulnerable. We know what this feels like. Except this supposed vulnerability isn't a weakness for David, because without armor meant increased mobility. And when it came time to fight, David tried to rock in between Goliath's eyes and won. He won because he turned his supposed weakness into a strength, into a force no one else expected. This is our story. We are the David who can dare to think differently. Don't lose this ability to see different sides, think of new solutions, and use creativity where not to solve the difficult problems. And as I look back in on those resource room kids, after all these years as my fellow peers and I prepare to graduate, I know that spring day liberates me to live. It no longer confines me. It motivates me to see how far things need to be taken, how much better things can be. That it isn't pointless to make the world a better place, or try to invent something just a little bit more for the sake of humanity. We all have this motivation, this passion somewhere. Some of us have already found it, some of us haven't, but we all have it. For me, living means becoming a writer. It means waking up every day to channel that passion, to work for justice, to fight ignorance, to do something great. We can all do great things. Because for me, living means taking every opportunity, seizing every moment. It means that if I ever have the chance to grow old, that I will look back on my life and regret nothing. It means for me, at this time, being satisfied with what I did with my life, and deciding to choose a way of life over a job, and a vocation over a career. Class of 2016, we escaped from our confining places a long time ago. But remember, there are those who never got the chance to leave. Prove that we aren't bound by some painted yellow lines. Thanks. To introduce the final student speaker and our student council president, Abby McConnell.
Thank you, Matt. Hello, parents and friends, teachers and staff, and most importantly, the class of 2016. My name is Abby McConnell, and I'm honored to be speaking with you today. I have been a boarding student at Landmark for the past 4 years. When I first started, I was 14 years old and afraid to leave home. I was always reluctant to speak my mind, and I never advocated for myself or others. Now, 4 years later, I grow someone and has been replaced by someone who has grown to speak her mind and be herself. I would never have been able to develop any of these characteristics without the help of the Landmark community. My teachers have taught me to believe in myself and be the confident person I am today. I believe that many of you have had a similar experience. Now, seniors, most of you have been here since your freshman year, but some may have started sophomores, juniors, or even seniors. Either way, do you remember that feeling in your stomach when you first drove up that tall, winding hill? That was, for most of you, the anxiety of starting at a new school, making new friends, adapting to a new structure, and starting all over again. As many of you know, new schools are especially hard for students with language-based learning disability. The Landmark community has helped us overcome those fears, instill confidence, independence, and achieve academic success. When you think back to that first day at Landmark, do you see how much each and every one of you has grown during your time here? I'm confident in the fact that all of you have made an inward impact on our school, just as much as Landmark has impacted all of us. Your academic, artistic, and athletic successes have exhibited true Viking pride. You've all had difficulties in your lives, but what is most significant are your accomplishments and the struggles that you have overcome. You've all built lifetime relationships here with teachers and friends, and you've all made Landmark in some way or another a place you can call home. Landmark is a place where you know how it feels to be with people who have the same or similar aspirations. I truly believe that Landmark has influenced all of us, and that everyone will always be a part of the Landmark community. It is that positive feeling we get when we are here that we will take with us to college or the next place in our lives for a long time to come. There are a number of people I would like to especially thank for all their support. My family and friends, Mrs. Elise Gordon, my student advocates teachers, Mrs. Ariel Martin, Mr. Talbot, Mrs. Harrison, Mr. Fossey, Mr. Wallwood, Mr. and Mrs. Mead, and Mrs. William. There are many more individuals I would like to thank, but thank you, Landmark, as a whole. You've impacted my life immensely. Classmates, before you leave campus today, make sure you express your gratitude to those who have made a difference in your time here. This school will never forget us, class of 2016, so please don't forget it and everything it has offered to you. Thank you, and thank you, Landmark, for making it so proud.
Thank you, that was wonderful. I'd now like to introduce Maura McNamara James, who is the chair of Landmark's Board of Trustees, who will introduce our keynote speaker.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, everyone. These are all such hard acts to follow. I'm glad there's a musical interlude in between the student speeches and my own address. I would like to begin this morning by congratulating the Landmark class of 2016 and ask for a huge round of applause for these graduates. We would also like to welcome the Landmark families in attendance here today and applaud all of you for the sacrifices you have made. Those out here are Landmark's faculty and administration. Without their tireless work on behalf of our present and future students, we would never reach this triumphant moment. Please let us show our appreciation for them as well. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude to Landmark's Board of Trustees who are sitting in the front rows here, who volunteer their time, their wisdom, their networks, and their financial support in their roles as overseers and principal ambassadors for this amazing school. I am honored and I'm humbled to lead such a dedicated and principled group of people. So today I speak for the entire Board of Trustees when I send you, our graduates, our heartfelt congratulations, our joy in your success, and our wishes for all good luck in the future. When you came here 4 years ago, or perhaps transitioned from the elementary middle school, you came to Landmark because you were looking for something you could not find in your own school district. And by virtue of the fact that you were graduating, you found it here. And coming here meant you and your families had to make some very tough decisions. You left your friends, you left your school, you left your families, but you all definitely left your comfort zones. As I thought about what I might say to you graduates as chair of the board, I thought I would go to the source of all knowledge, my children. Last year, Jake, who graduated from Landmark several years ago, and has since graduated from college, said this to me: "Mom, the kids don't really listen at high school graduations. They just want their diplomas." You were talking to the parents, and the parents just want to know that their kids are going to be okay. So you have it from my son Jake, who spent 8 years at Landmark, went on to graduate from college, worked at ESPN, and now is working in production at the Pac-12 Networks in San Francisco. Parents, after Landmark, your kid is going to be okay. So this year, my daughter Maddie, who just graduated from college 2 weeks ago, said, "Steal a few lines from my graduation speaker. You thought he was great." And I said, "That's a great idea. I think I'll do that." So I am. Brian Stevenson was her speaker at Wesleyan University. He is a widely recognized thought leader on social justice. And as he talked to the graduates, of course, I as a parent was thinking about a lot of things. But I also was thinking about Landmark, because so much of what he said applies to you graduates today. And he said this. He said to change the world, and by the way, I believe you are going to change the world, you need to do 4 things. The first word he used of these 4 things was a word called proximity. And in that he meant, when you are trying to solve a problem, you need to get really close to it, really close. As you and your families know, you've gotten really close to the challenges that are yours. And with Landmark's help, you've confronted and understood your learning challenges. The second thing he said was you need to change the narrative. You need to change the narrative, and in this case, you need to change the narrative about this issue of learning disability. Because as we know, everyone learns differently, and we need to make the world understand this. You can do this because Landmark has taught you how to do this. The third thing he told the graduates was you have to have hope, because without hope, you can't change anything. And hope is what you found here at Landmark. And finally, the 4th point, learn to be uncomfortable. Learn to live in that uncomfortable zone. That is, you will find that society will try to make you uncomfortable
about your learning challenge. Live in that discomfort, use it, and make change. So this brings me to our speaker today, who has done all of the above. Dyslexic himself, he confronted his challenge. He got really close to it. Secondly, he has changed the narrative about learning disabilities through his nonprofit called Noticeability. Third, he definitely has a lot of hope, I know from just speaking to him. And four, he is willing to make people uncomfortable if it means changing attitudes about people who learn differently. Dean Bragonier. Dean Bragonier is the founder and executive dyslexic, I love that, founder and executive dyslexic of Noticeability. Shaped by the challenges associated with his dyslexia, Dean became a diligent and successful college student after struggling through the traditional secondary school education system. It wasn't until he enrolled at Bates College that he developed a true love of learning, fostered in large part by the institution's unique approach to education. And it supported students with learning differences. Upon graduation from Bates, Dean embraced his entrepreneurial instincts and acquired a small seasonal restaurant on Martha's Vineyard Island that he transformed into a successful full-scale enterprise. It was through this endeavor that he was able to contextualize his years of laborious academic learning and discover the true gifts of his dyslexic mind. As a social entrepreneur, Dean has founded his own nonprofit organizations and served as board member and advisor to a number of others. Noticeability is the culmination of Dean's passion for education and his conviction that the advantages of dyslexia far outweigh its associated challenges. So please help me in welcoming Dean Bragonier.
Thank you very much. Well, this means the world to me. Thank you for that. And the board, thank you for your hospitality. I'm very excited to be here today. I wish that I wasn't training Abigail and Matthew and Eliza, but we'll talk about that next time. So this is my first commencement address. This is your first graduation, so it's a new thing for both of us, so let's just go with it. You know, I thought a lot about what I wanted to say to you all today, and I have a lot of ideas going around, and as a good dyslexic, I'm going to embrace the sage counsel of others. So this fine young man, my son, this 8-year-old dyslexic right here, I went to him first, and I said, what do I speak to these folks about? And he said 3 things very easy. He said, don't do a script, speak from the heart, and don't speak too long. Dyslexic ingenuity right there. So I want to begin with a proper step forward, which is that as much as this day may be about you all, in actuality, every single person in this audience has done a tremendous amount to get you here today. They have sacrificed, obviously, time. They have sacrificed tremendous resources, possibly careers, to invest in the thing that is most beloved to them, which is you. Now, as a dyslexic, I know that the most horrible thing is sitting in a chair this long. So what I'm going to ask you to do at this moment, we're going to go soprano style, but with respect is due. I want you to stand up as if this is the final minutes of a basketball game. And shout thank you to everyone who has made this possible today. Come on, let's do it. And I count to 3. And let me here in Boston. All right? And look at the people that made this a reality. Because we'll get to you. But first to them. All right? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. So to you all, this is a momentous day for you, and I assure you, you don't know why yet. And I'm here to give you a little bit of perspective because the only difference between me and you is I've got 25 years of being out in the world. Today marks the culmination of an extraordinary dedication to a very adverse environment. You all are wearing these ridiculous looking caps today. What they call these caps is they call them mortar boards. And that's because when a bricklayer is using mortar, they have it on these little tiny square pallets and then they lay the bricks. And obviously the metaphor for us, LD students, and being a bricklayer, slowly, painstakingly stacking each brick to create a foundation of our own education, that's an obvious metaphor. But let's take it on a much more literal level. The bricklayer is a fairly glamorous position. They wake up earlier than most, they go to work, they bloody their knuckles, they sweat profusely, they break their backs and bend their knees all day long, and then they get up at the end of that day, look at what they built, go home, shower up, wake up the next morning and do the same thing, day after day after day. We're bricklayers. We have done things that no human being should have to do this all in life. And we have done painstakingly. There have been tough times, I guarantee it. But today marks a finale to a very laborious, often demeaning process. And not that you articulated it very well, I appreciate it. So, a little pop reference. I look at you and you guys are swords of Valencian steel, forged in the bowels of Mordor. You have arisen out of the ashes, like the mother of dragons unbirthed and unscathed. Really impressive. I thought it was really done that. So you're gonna go off to your next chapter in life, and I'm amazed by what I've heard. Ocean engineering? Are you kidding me? It's an amazing opportunity. Everyone seems to be an engineer and educator in this audience here. I couldn't make it more proud. What's going to happen to you at college is a fascinating experience. All this time, these wonderful administrators and teachers at Landmark have had to teach you the fundamental building blocks the state and federal government requires. When you get to college, you're going to discover something very, very different. The most valuable person in the room, in your college classrooms, is going to be the one who thinks the most uniquely. The one who can think of solutions where everybody else just sees problems. And you have literally been doing that since the day you were born. So you're going to wind up discovering that as you look at your college lecturers and they throw only questions and answers at you, you'll be able to come back with some of the most remarkable explanations that will make you one of the most coveted peers amongst your class. This is an amazing epiphany, and they're also going to teach you, hopefully, how to harness that engineering. And now we know, because of neuroscience, that the way your brains and my brain are constructed, we actually have a whole repertoire of cognitive advantages that are going to translate to an extraordinary amount of success after we get out of school. So that takes me to the next graduation that we'll go through. And you'll be terrified, because you're about to enter the real world. And guess what? This is the best news of the year all day. We're going to pay you to do 40 hours of work a week. It's like half time for us. It's like a part-time job. We've been doing 40 hours a week since 8th grade. What they are going to discover in you is that you have the one thing that cannot be taught in a classroom. You have the perseverance, the grit, the moxie, the tenacity to stick with something until it is finished. And when you go out and they're looking at these different job applicants, it's going to be you that stands out head and shoulders above the rest. Because you can't train somebody to do that. You have that innately, and you've built that over the last 12 years of your life. So, you have, in my opinion, a current debt to pay when you get off into the real world, when you are sitting at the top of your pinnacle, whatever it is that you choose to do. Because today, you represent a fraction of 1% of all ULB students in this world. These people, these administrators, these parents, grandparents, caregivers have invested more in you than you can possibly imagine. That makes you, by default, the future leaders of this movement. Because for every one of you, there are thousands of us atrophying behind bars and in drug and alcohol rehabilitation centers. It's up to you to change the way society looks at us by demonstrating through your own efficacy and then explaining to people that your success is because of your experience, not in spite of it. You are the future leaders of this movement, and it's a very serious movement to be a part of. So I'm going to end this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to stop it. I'm wrapping up. So today is an auspicious day. The LD world lost one of its greatest. It was actually referred to as the greatest. Muhammad Ali died today. I invite you to look at this event as a rare opportunity to pinch a bit of his legacy and put it in your pocket for when times get tough. This is a man who dealt with dyslexia before anybody knew what it was. And they called him the greatest. He was a true champion. The fact that he died today means something. So, I'm going to close with one last request for you to get up silently. To get up, please. I want you to look solemnly, sincerely into the eyes of your peers. Look at your peers, please. Look at each other. Look into your eyes for the first time, because those individuals have achieved more than most people can ever imagine. And I want you to leave today knowing that you stand among titans. I wish you the most tremendous luck. My money is on you. Every single day, my money is on you. I congratulate you so sincerely. And I wish you the best of luck.
Dean, can you come back up here for just a moment, please? That was wonderful. Good job. Dean is a fellow Bates alum, is a dear friend, is a passionate, intelligent, creative leader of a movement. We're so grateful to have you here today. And I'm going to hand out the first diploma of the day. This certifies that Dean Lafayette is deeply loved by Landmark School and will always be a member of the community and is making a difference in the world.
Okay,
We're
schools,
almost there.
here we go.
It's time.
On behalf of the headmaster, the Landmark Board of Trustees, and the high school administration and faculty, it is my honor and privilege to present these diplomas for the Landmark graduating class of 2016. Would students in the first row please stand? Sebastian Luke Abate.
Here it goes.
Daria Agarwal. Ali Al-Saeed. Nasiri Amin. Michelle Carol Nicolette. John Claire Marisol Elena Gonzalez Bagdad. Robin Drew Darienko. Allison Portman Garcelle. Reed Belvin. Matthew Gabriel London. Aiden Thomas Burke. Rachel Marie Hussein. Sean Patrick Frias Callahan. William Adrian Carabola IV.
I'm going through it.
Christian Antonio Rodriguez Santana. Natalie Amanda Clark. Emma Rose Copeland. Harry John Powell. Patrick Timothy Cunningham.
Patrick?
Jordan Patrick.
Patrick?
Michael A. Dalzell. Kenneth Anthony Duluth III.
I fixed it.
Olivia Anna Dimitri. Rebecca T.C. DiNatale. Alexander McCann Drake. Bradley James Ellis. Rachel Ann Escher. Alexander Amadila Foyle.
The foils.
Nicole Amadila Foyle. Samantha Amadila Foyle. Natalie Jean Frazier. John Walter Fulton. Howard. Jonathan E. Godin. Alicia Antonia Rashford. Brennan A. Hill. Michael Paul Patrick Corneliu.
Michael Ball.
Joshua Ryan Jacobson. Mark Frederick Jacklich. Linnea Rose James. Caitlin Olivia Johnson. Olivia Zora Pierce. And in absentia today, Christopher Ryan Keating. Evan John Kramer. William Scott Larson. Riley and Alan Lawrence. Alexander Loring. Devin Terrence Mackey. Julian Marie McClellan. Jacqueline Elizabeth Mahoney. Abigail Eleni McClellan. Jane Maxwell McClure. Jane Craig McLaughlin. Andrew John Meekros. Maurice Mary Medico. Ariane Marie Mills. Hugh Addison Mitchell. Anthony Charles Nichols. Mary Elizabeth McConnell. Charles Philip D. Over. Maxwell Greg Olmsted. Adam Joshua Pomeroy. Matthew William Francis. Prescott. Thomas Benedict Quirk. Timothy J. Regan. Kevin Randolph Richardson. Elizabeth Smith. David Thomas Scott. Caitlin Eileen Stanislaus. Gabriel J. Stearns. William Charling Stevens. Brandon Ross Strasden. David Alexander Sullivan. Mercer Eric Terry. Abigail Lee Thomas. Joel Tower. Naomi Victoria Turner. Nicole M. Whalen. Eliza A. Wiles. Mills Worthy.
That's everyone.
I'm not sure there's that much left to say. This has been another deeply moving, I've been in tears up here half the time, landmark graduation ceremony, which is as it should be. For today represents, as you all know, a tremendous and inspiring achievement by these graduates.
I'm gonna bounce before it gets crazy.
The ceremony also represents quite an achievement, as everyone has said to you, by everyone here. This has been a community effort. You all came together as a community with a common mission to assure that today would happen. And what an uplifting and optimistic outcome this is. This is so beautiful. Thank you to all of our parents, our guardians, grandparents, and relatives. You have been and are the advocates for our graduates. And they are very fortunate that it has been your mission to have been and to continue to be on their side. Thank you, Dean, for getting the thank yous out to this audience. It's well deserved. Thank you and congratulations to Landmark's faculty, staff, and administration. None of this happens without you. You are Landmark, you make the difference, and it is your mission which you live every day. And I know you hate this. Would you please stand up? Everybody give us a hand. Thank you to the many members of the graduation committee for bringing this event to fruition. This is not an easy task. This is usually a gym. Today it's not. Thank you to our alumni and current students who are here. It's also your mission to find out where your world is going and to be a part of Landmark as part of that mission. Thank you to members of our Parents Association and all of our parent volunteers for your spirit and involvement in all that you do for Landmark School every day. Thank you so much to our speaker, Dean Broderick, for bringing so much energy, inspiration to our ceremony. We're honored by your presence today, Dean. We really are, and we're really moved by your words. Thank you. Thank you to our board chair, Maura James, and all of the members of the Board of Trustees for your unfailing support, your willingness to question and to challenge, and your commitment to and belief in the mission that is Landmark. Thank you to each of today's eloquent student speakers. It's true, you are tough acts to follow. Perhaps you have noticed that I have already referred to the word mission 5 times. One definition of the word mission is a sending out or being sent out to perform a special duty. How many of you remember the Mission Impossible television show or movies? You will recall that the central office would send a tape to James Phelps, or Willie Armitage, or Cinnamon Carter, or Daniel Briggs, and all the others on the Mission Impossible team. And that tape began, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is, and then it will go on to describe the most impossible mission before the tape self-destructed. I always thought that the phrase, should you choose to accept it, was enticing and important. At times, the educational process that you were sent out to partake in must have seemed like Mission Impossible for our graduates and for the families here. Perhaps the tape sent to you from central office to you defining your special duty went something like this. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to endure or fail at school every day for 12 or 13 years. Or maybe your mission, should you choose to accept it, was to try to graduate from a high school from systems that did not understand who you are as learners. And then the tape would self-destruct, leaving no options. For you, everybody here, these messages or notions as presented were mission impossible. But they were missions that you rejected, that you chose to not accept, which never seems to happen on the show or in the movies. You're here today because you redefine your special mission as seeking to reach your full potential, becoming empowered and enabled, or in other words, to pursue mission possible. Your mission, which you both created and chose, was to understand who you are as learners, to obtain an appropriate education that met your needs, and to find a place that met you where you were as learners. Somehow along the way, Mission Impossible brought you to Landmark. And as individuals, this senior class came from near and far, as you all know. They told their own stories. They worked very, very hard. And they have contributed to our community in so many ways, and I thank you for that. You made this a better place by being here. Before our eyes, you have all grown tremendously in all ways. Through your own sense of pride, intelligence, creativity, true grit, and determination. You have gone to thousands of classes here with goals in mind. You've developed your language, learning, and self-advocacy skills. You committed thousands of hours to community service and made a difference for people all over this area and in Jamaica. You donated blood. You performed on the stage. You created beautiful, award-winning art, and you have done that for years. You participated in athletics with intensity and great sportsmanship, and had one unforgettable spring season, for sure. As seniors, you have led the school by your action, through your involvement with student government, and through social activities. You have told your stories, and you've educated others through student advocates. You've given tours. You've gone on school trips. You've built boats, fixed cars, raised funds for worthy causes. You have worked through personal and social dynamics. You have danced. You have sung. You have endured the walks up and down the hill, even in the worst weather. Sometimes wearing sneakers and no coat. You contributed to residential life. You complained about the food, but you ate a lot of it. You've done this with a demonstrated sense of empathy and support for each other. You've heard this multiple times. You are a kind class. You're an empathetic class. You're a feeling class. When we see that, we appreciate that about you. No question about it. All this you have done because you, like Landmark and everyone else here, have been on a mission. You have been on Mission Possible. To learn, to grow, to find your strengths, your passions, and your voices, and create options for yourself. Despite what once seemed like mission impossible, you have succeeded at the mission that you chose to accept. Remember always the journey, the decisions, and the drive that got you to this point, and know that Mission Possible does not end here. Landmark has just been one part of your mission. And now, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to continue to believe in yourselves and to pursue Mission Possible with confidence to the next episode and the next episode. You have already proven that you can create your own take and that you can succeed at your defined mission. I speak for myself and for the entire group of people assembled here today in extending a heartfelt congratulations to each of you in the class of 2016. Graduates to stand one more time. You may now move your tassels from the right to the left.
All right. On the floor.
Please remain in your seats as the pipers lead first and then the faculty, and then there will be the recessional march of the graduates.
Of course. I am so. Hold this. Hold this right here. Come on. Come on. Be here. Right here. Come on. How's it going? It's been forever, dude. Where do you live? I'm still. I'm in like cottage? Yeah, I'm still at cottage. I'm going to Bay next year, but I'm still at cottage. You know, it's mad there, dude. Central air conditioning.
Are you still like making a bunch of robots?
Dude, I'm always making a bunch of
Oh my God, what's up?
Keeping it real every day, Greg. I have to say that again. It's a policy. Alright, let's go outside. Avery. I've never seen you wear that before. It's new. Jesus Christ. I'm Skyping Sparky right now. It's pretty intense. Avery. So how did the crying go?
Yeah.
Good? I recorded the whole thing. Great. I'm holding a lot of technology right now.
Sinking into the grass right now.
Right now. Really?
Yeah, I know.
Are you good? Are you guys
I'm
alright?
literally sinking into the grass right now.
I thought my spine was gonna like become two spines, right? Because I was like standing for so long. Alright. Send it here.